wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah, so lost, where do I go? I was in the chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forget. Cause I hate how much I love it, oh I hate how I just love to catch a feel. Yeah, I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. If I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't believe that it was real. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't believe that it was real. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. I can't believe that it was real. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little different intro than usual. Had a nice race this weekend. Yesterday, yeah, I guess that would be the weekend. And that was the course setup. Literally, we show up and we just kind of wing it and figure out where to put gates. Really enjoyed the first half of that course. Flowed really nice. The second half, not so much, but we'll let you know. You can guess who designed the second half. How's everybody doing out there in the YouTube-averse? Lawbart, Brandon Baked Beans, Speedy Turtle, Keith Jones, thank you all for coming out this morning. Pedro Tomei, thank you. I appreciate everybody coming out. That can work. There we go. Sweet. Rob Logan Jr., as always, thank you for coming out and rallying the troops to smash that like button. You can just click it if you want. You don't have to be so violent, but either way. Steady Eddie, coffee. Yes, please. Coffee. I'm actually low. Athex, how you doing this morning? Morton Upshot, how are you? Borked, good morning. North 49RC, glad you could make it out this morning. Let's see. Scott says, am I the first idiot to say first? Nope, the first idiot was Keith Jones. Keith Jones is the first idiot. Just kidding. But no, he was the first. Morton Upshot said he flew a couple days ago and dumped it into the snow or covered a snowball. Hopefully it didn't fry anything. Mike Bergman says I would have gone for the guy walking, but, the gate works too. Yeah, that's my buddy Joel. He designed the first half of the track. I kind of put together the second half. First half, I think, is gonna make a repeat here and there because that flowed pretty nice. It was really fun once you kind of memorized the direction of everything. But yeah, Scott says it's 9 degrees in Milwaukee. Gross, Milwaukee. I mean 9 degrees. Dan Richmond, how you doing? Daniel Hotfund, how's it going? It was like mid 60s yesterday. It was beautiful. It really makes up for the other 11 months of just absolute miserable hot weather here in southern Alabama. Oh man. ESK Race says more angle on that cam. To be honest with you, I was taking it easy with that quad. That was my floss build or my glide build, and half of the GoPro mount was broken. And I didn't want to risk losing my Session 5 because, these guys are like unicorns. You don't play around with them. Yeah. And I really don't ever fly that quad all that much lately. Yeah. Anywho, I went through 3 different quads yesterday. And, only one kind of survived, but yeah. Let's see, Dan Richard, have you seen printing on diffraction grading sheet that makes your bottom layer look holographic? I have seen that. That looked freaking wild. I would love to try it, but I probably won't because I'm lazy. Athix says I'm not late this time. You are not. E-Drone, thank you so much. Yeah, I was very happy with that edit. I'll be dropping that one on YouTube here in a day or so, just so everybody can see it. I don't know if anybody really likes the race footage, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I don't think there's enough race footage out there like that. ESK Race, he's figured out the secret code to mess with my lights. Have at it, guys. Kevin Otto. Kevin. I'm just gonna call you Kevin. Good morning. How you doing? Steady says I'm already planning on opening a multi-GP. I'm planning on going to multi-GP IO, considering extending another week following Motor Hot Rod Tour. That'd be kind of cool. It was 80s where you're at, Brian. Jeez. Yeah, I struggle to keep it down. I want to go faster. Yeah, that was the first and only pack I flew on that quad that day. I didn't have, that was just after the race. I had like one pack left. I wanted to get a GoPro shot through there. So it's a matter of learning the rates because I had some stupid rates on that quad versus what I've been flying all day long on, these guys. Tried flying Shark Bite. The system didn't let me down. My HDMI cable did. I'm using, let me just go grab it. I'll show you guys. Here, sorry. I am using like a flat ribbon cable like this, kind of stuffed into the back of the Shark Fart VTX, just so I can kind of have a neater setup. This started giving me issues. I don't know if it's getting interference or if I've managed to screw up the ends, taking it on and out enough times. Actually, this does feel kind of loose. But the goggles would go to unsupported video format, unsupported image, it would go black, then come back, go black, come back. It got to the point where it was getting dangerous to fly. So I only got maybe 3 laps on this, and I just said I'm not doing it. It was too risky. But I have seen a post where Orca said that they are working on an in-house solution for this cable on the Orca pilots. So I really hope that comes out because this worked. It worked forever, but I've taken this thing on and off so many times in the last month. that I'm pretty sure I may have damaged the cable or maybe damaged the ends, either way. So I've got new ones coming, but it's going to take a month because they got to come from, you know, the usual scumbags on the slowest of boats across the ocean. So unfortunately, that quad did not really play a whole lot yesterday. This one, I just destroyed the camper on. I already replaced it, and then we got back to number 3. This is old reliable. This is the one that I always end up finishing the races with. This is my old Pyro Cube. But this poor, oh man, this one, she's seen better days. That arm's broken. That's broken. This side is completely detached. Back's broken. I mean, for the amount of hell I put this one through, it still flies great. It just needs some new carbon parts, and a lot of them aren't available at Pyrodrone right now, unfortunately. So this one's gonna need some repairs. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doctoring that one up, or if I'm eventually just going to swap that into a different frame. I don't know. I really like the box frames. I've been super happy with them. This thing flies the best, or I fly the best with that one. The tune sounds like absolute shit. Like every time I fly it, my buddy Joel's like, "Hey man, you gotta move that PD slider because it's just going." And the whole time I got it cranked up. I just don't want to mess with it. It flies so good. I don't want to mess with it. I've got Betaflight 4.3 RC3 on the Shark Fart quad. Not really. I don't have much of a tune on it. I have my rates and that's about it. And it just felt really loose and nasty. Wasn't tracking well. I guess that's what I get for putting it all together the night before. You know, that's how it goes, right? But yeah, Pyro Cube frame coming in clutch. It's always the one I end up finishing the races with because I end up breaking the first 2, and then I don't know if it's because you back yourself into a corner having only one quad left and you really start to perform well, or what. I don't know. It's one of those things. Really enjoy racing, guys. I had a ton of fun. Met a new guy that he contacted me through FPV Exchange of all places. He hit me up on the messenger system that Zenexus has running over there, and he came out to spectate, and we're like, dude, there's only 4 of us flying. Grab your shit. Come on, we'll throw you on the line. You can go out and go try flying through gates. We don't, you know, it's the race environment is so relaxed and loose. Like, we just don't care, you know. We'll steer around you. Don't worry. We'll work around you. He got out. I think he finally made maybe a lap or 2 by the time we were done. So yeah, it was nice to see a new person come out, and he seemed like he was really into it. And just like my family, his wife stayed in the truck and didn't want to come out. That's how my wife would be. Not the most supportive of this hobby. All right, over to the chat. Keith Jones says, "That's me." That is you, isn't it? Oh man. Oh, where am I at here? Good look in green there. Yeah, I really like the green TPU. It just, I don't know, looks good. Shows up easy when it's buried in the grass. How many pilots use ELRS where you race? Me. And honestly, the 2 quads that I just showed on the bench, both of those are still running Tracer, just because I have the TBS. You know, one of them has the 69 in it. The other one has like a white noise board with the VTX and receiver mounted in it. Both are on Tracer, just because I haven't gotten around to, you know, moving stuff out of it. I'm not gonna tear into it unless I have a reason. My Shark Fart quad, that's on ELRS. Everything is slowly changing to ELRS. Doing a flight demonstration at University of Southern Alabama next month. I got to put ELRS in that bad boy over. Wait, that bad boy over there. That's X class. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. So yeah, everything is eventually going to go to ELRS. It's just I don't see that much of a difference between flying Express LRS and Tracer in a racing environment to just say, oh, I gotta change it to Express LRS. The only downside is I've got to then run a module in my radio, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, they'll all eventually be on ELRS. I'm actually thinking about leaving the TBS 69 board in my my Leventador build. That's the smaller cube frame, and just put an Express LRS on there and just not using the Tracer part of it because it's a good VTX. And I don't want to swap in a VTX. That's the combo board receiver VTX seems like a really great idea until you don't want to be in that ecosystem anymore. TBS VTXs are phenomenal. Like, I'll keep running the VTX. I don't care. But now I'm also hauling around a receiver. I'll just probably pop the antennas off of it. I'll pop one antenna off and just stick it to the Express LRS receiver. I don't know. Yeah. Edron says, glad to get some packs in. Got some in too, finally. Yeah, the weather has been phenomenal this week. Just amazing. Came home from the race, picking away at standing the deck. It was a wonderful day. It's nice out today. I'm probably going to go out and try to get some packs in. Going on a little trip next week. Plan on taking a few quads with me. Just need to kind of get things straightened out. I have so many quads that it's hard to keep track of what's on what and how things are tuned. Like, I have so many that I lose track of which ones I like to fly. Yeah, so. Atex says the HDMI cables are shit. And you're right, they are absolute shit. Athex says, I started to learn how to fly it at local race practices. Yeah, so another guy you might see on here, Eric Allen, he showed up. He's out. He came out from the west side for a couple races. I kind of talked him into it. And, his first time out, he's like, oh, man, I didn't even make it through one gate. Then it was the next heat. He's like, hey, I made it through one. Then it was like, hey, I made it around the track. And then it was like, oh, I'm hooked. Got to do it. It's, as long as you're not super competitive. So if you're so competitive that you don't want to do it because you don't think you're going to be the best, that doesn't make you competitive. That makes you a poor sport. Let that sink in. That makes you a poor sport. And it's just like any other flight, flying hangout, like just shooting the shit with my buddies and kind of having fun, I don't care if I do well or not. I came in third, so there's that. Only 4, but third's third. Podium's a podium. In the finals there, the heats I think we do chase the ace. So it was double limit. No, we did chase the ace. And on my first time up, racing against my buddy Joel, and I managed to put in a 19-second lap, which was like 2 seconds short of my average lap time. I mean, he's putting in like 15-second laps, but he's in a different league than I am for sure. But I'm either the quads are flying better or I'm getting better, and I'm not entirely sure which one it is. Steady A says that's what it's all about. Fun times. I've got 3 guys working on help me get in the air. Fun is where it's at. 3 guys I'm working on helping get in the air. Gotcha. All right. Words mean things, and the ordering. Yeah. Sorry. I don't read well. I was debating on building a footy frame. I really like it. Did you build one, or are you still thinking about building one, Mike? I would say no. Just from what I've seen, it does. Oh, hey, Phil sums up my my thoughts right there. It's heavy, and I think it's a bit of a gimmick, really. 533 makes a awesome race frame. Highly recommend that one. But as far as, I don't know. As far as for an acro frame, I think there's much better choices out there. Morton says, I married Ohio. Winter sucks. Yeah, I honestly miss living in northern Michigan for the spring, summer, and fall, but the wintertime, oof, it's rough. So I think, Mike, you're kind of like me. You're drawn to unique frame designs, and I certainly am too. Like cube frames, or the box frames, or the tiny trainer. I am drawn to weird frames. Like the Korea Talon V2, that big plastic Wonder Indestructo frame. Like, I had to have that thing. I never built it, unfortunately, but I had to have that thing. I was hooked. On the agenda today, we're going to do a giveaway for the Sub 250 crate from... We're going to give away the Sub 250 crate from FPV Crate. This guy here, which is... in turn, this monstrosity. Sorry for clearing my throat into the microphone. This is the HGLRC Veyron 3.5 frame. So there's a frame and a set of props in the box. If you haven't gotten in on that, head to the video, and the link is in the video. You got to watch. You got to be very, very attentive to see it. Or if you're a patron member, I posted it on Patreon, so it's a super easy way to get it. $2 a month, and you can get in on those without having to search for the video. Plus, I do monthly giveaways. This month, I'm giving away... What on earth am I giving away this month? I do so many giveaways, I forget what it is I'm giving away. Let me look here. Flywoo Firefly Nano Baby. So this month I'm giving away one of these. Ugh, I'm gonna have to pack this thing back in a box. This little bastard. No receiver, but you know, it's a fun little quad. Flies good. It's smooth. We can go on that tirade there. It's a good little quad. 1S. Right there. That's the monthly giveaway over on Patreon. So $2 a month gets you in on all that goodness. Also gets you to the super secret section in my Discord up here. We got a general chat and troubleshooting. These folks get first dibs at my time and damn it. OBS, why come you do this? Why you do this to me? Monitor 2. That's not monitor 2. I already told you that wasn't monitor 2. There it is. All right, you get access to this super secret section in my Discord. Where obviously that's where I prioritize my time, but I help out everybody. As if anybody is in my Discord, they know that I'm in there a lot, helping people out. It starts. Good day. I think I had Omicron maybe a month ago, and ever since then, when I start talking like this, just get stuff build up. Never got tested, but I think I had it. I'm not sure. 16 in the D. The heat wave. So here's the fun thing about Michigan winters, or Detroit winters for that matter, is it's going to get really, really nice. All of a sudden, everything's going to melt. Trees are going to start budding, and then, boom, 3 feet of snow. It does it every year. It gets everybody all worked up, and then it just, fuck you. Yeah. I want to build a whoop, so I'm hopeful. I like my Switchback HD frame, but one of those use DJI. Why should I fly analog when I'm not that fast, like the younger generation? Well, all right, Daniel. So the 533 is oriented towards racing, so typically you would buy that if you're racing, and DJI doesn't play well with other people flying analog at races. That's why it's really not been adopted very widely for multi-GP use, and that's why HD0 is probably going to be the format of choice for racing. But But yeah, I mean, if you're just out flying for fun and you want to be able to see everything in ultra clear clarity stuff, yeah, then build a DJI. Go for it, man. As long as you're out there flying. Someone on TikTok did their TS100. I stitched them with mine showing off your grips. I don't know what any of those words mean, Athix. I understand grip and TS100. I've heard of TikTok. I don't know what the hell that is. Stitched them with mine. I am like, Instagram is about as extreme for is about as far as social media goes. The people I work with, they're doing TikToks in the background. I'm like, just get the fucking work. Oh man. After enough unique frames, I've come to settle on the FPV Cycle Glide, and the insides are prototype 5.1. Yeah, my acro frame of choice is either the Apex or the Glide. I could use that Cine frame. Well, hopefully you signed up. Let's see how many people are signed up. We have 34. Damn, I looked yesterday and it was like at 8. That's crazy. That number jumped up a lot. All right. I also forgot to put it on Discord. I did it yesterday night, I think. So sorry about that, guys. Rob Logan Jr. says, hey, I grabbed my daughter's phone. Do you like the video? Nice. Well played. Athix says, that sounds kind of like how I would say it. Yep, if I didn't say it that way, that's definitely the way I'm thinking. Undiagnosed Tourette's, I think. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the AOS 5. Ugly like a Prius, rips like a BMW. I do have one of those built up on analog. I'm either going to dump the guts out of that into a floss frame or a glide frame. I don't know why I always call it the floss. I'm either going to dump the guts from that into a glide frame, or I'm going to throw a Vista in it. One or the other, I'm not really sure. Thought you had I don't know. I never got tested, so. Phil, 1 hour from the Dirty D. North, south, or west? I lived about an hour west when I lived in Michigan. I actually born and raised in Howell, so it's where I spent most of my days. Sorry. I think that's the Tourette's kicking in right there. TPU does not crash well in 16 degrees. No, it does not. It certainly does not. Kevin says, I'm putting ELRS on Tiny Hawk 2 race. I'm getting error messages when trying to flash. Can't find ELRS on any comms. I have serial port tuned TX, RX, RX, TX, TX. Which receiver are you trying to flash, Kevin? I'm assuming you probably got an EP2. West, okay. So you're probably out. Milford area, possibly? Somewhere around there? Yeah, my wife's from Milford, just off the Kensington exit. Yeah, Kevin, you will not be able to flash through pass-through if you don't have your port set up right and you don't have RX to TX and TX to RX like you're supposed to. Most of the people end up screwing that part up, the TX to RX, RX to TX. And also with the Tiny Hawk 2 race, I think you're really short on UART, so I don't know if you're trying to go through S-Bus, which will then you'll have to invert it, but you won't be able to flash ExpressLRS because you can't tell the ExpressLRS to invert itself until the initial flash. I would honestly do it over Wi-Fi, so just, you know, I'll just show you because I'm streaming. Why not show you? Jeez. All right, here we go. So I'm assuming you're probably using a Happy Model EP2. So you're going to be on Happy Model. You're going to do EP2400RX. And don't select any of these things. You know, set up your binding phrase and all that stuff, and then just do build. So let it build, and this is going to generate like the file that you're going to flash to your Express ELRS receiver. Just going to let it do its thing. I'm going to plug in a receiver. And we're just going to let this happen for... This is going to take a little while. So let's just go back to the old Chatmadoo thing here while we're waiting. So yeah, just let it do this thing. Don't mess with pass-through. Don't do anything. Just hit build. Just let it go. And there we go. It's going to pop up with a window. This is where saving your... this is where your flash file is. So just take that, the firmware or the Happy... It doesn't really matter. They're both the same. And just drop that to your desktop. And it's going to make life a lot easier here. Plug in your receiver, make sure your radio's turned off, and you're going to see the receiver is going to start flashing really, really quickly. Like that. Then go ahead and open up an internet browser. Go to 10.0.0.1. Make sure you keep the quad close to your computer. Oh, hang on a second. Scratch that. You need to log into the receiver. So you're gonna see over on your thingy over here. You're gonna see Express ELRS RX. So log into it. The SSID is gonna be Express ELRS, all one word, no caps. And then once you do that, you're going to go to 10.0.0.1. It's not doing it on this one because I have this set up to log into my home Wi-Fi. So let's go back. I'll show you what that looks like. So once you do that, go to 10.0.0.1. Ignore the fact that I'm on a different address up here. And then you're going to go down to firmware update. You're going to hit choose file. You go back to your desktop and you're going to find that firmware file. And then you're going to hit update. Let it do its thing. It's going to pop up and it's going to say OK in really small letters. And then just give the receiver a couple seconds to reboot itself. The light should start flashing. And then you should be able to connect it to your radio because then you'll have the bind phrase set up in there. But that's how I would do it on an initial build where you don't know where things are or how things are connecting and you're having issues like that. That's the way I would do it. Yep. Pass-through is unreliable until you actually know the receiver's working because you may have something screwed up either in Betaflight or on your hardware side for your connections. Jackson, okay. Bob Noxious, how you doing this morning? Thanks for coming out. I'm doing well, doing very well. Had a great day flying with my buddies over at the Battleship Park. Old laptop can't find ELRS Wi-Fi. It should be able to. No reason why I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, don't quit while flashing. Jeez, don't do that. Do you own an FTDI adapter? Out of curiosity. So yeah, Express ELRS, it's going and everything. I just haven't gotten it into everything. I'm kind of just phasing things out. I've still got a lot of quads with Crossfire on it that have to get phased out. I'm done with Crossfire. I don't need it. It was good in the time. It served my purpose well, but there's a better option out there now. Let's see. Kevin Oda, it's Beta FPV. It's on RX1, TX1. I did this with my Tiny Hawk Whoop, but it was with the Radio Master EP2. I didn't have to flash. So My guess is you're probably dealing with signal inversion because of how that flight controller is set up. Emacs. Tiny Hawk FC, pin out. That's not 3. Why? There, 3. So my guess is, I think this is UART1 that you're dealing with here. And this is inverted. So your Express ELRS receiver is not going to work on this pad here. I thought that there was a uninverted pad. It may not be. This looks wrong too. I think this is the S Plus pad. That's ground. Ugh, this pinout sucks. And so UART2 is for your VTX, so that's occupied. Yeah. So better pinout somewhere. Oh, here, this might help. There you go. This is how you need to hook it up. It's like this. So you need to hook up to the DSM-X pad. So that's UART1, but that's uninverted. That's where your RX wire needs to go is there. TX needs to go there. So if you're using the S Plus pads, that's probably why it's not going to work. Just a guess. Or you've dicked up the flash and yeah. Let's see, where am I at? Over here in the chat. Chat. Sometimes ExpressOS won't accept Wi-Fi until it's flashed the first time on pass-through. That's not true. That's not true at all. Going the JB route with the phone. That's easy. Plus, you don't have to grab the laptop. Now they're all on my home Wi-Fi. It is super easy when they're all on the home Wi-Fi. It certainly is. Freelojo says definitely going to be using your ExpressOS videos when the modules for my wife's radio come in. Yeah, I'm still planning on making like a complete this is how you start. You know, this is how you get ExpressOS set up. It's been changing so much, and there's just been other stuff I need to make videos on that it's more, I'm not gonna say more important, but more trending. Yeah, I gotta kind of stay ahead of the curve a little bit. Scott asked, what's the difference between EP1 and EP2? EP1 has an antenna, like a flappy dipole antenna, and EP2 has the ceramic antenna. Yeah, so EB2 uses this style of antenna, a little ceramic dealy, and then the EP1s use a flappy antenna like this. By the way, the Express or the Happy model EP1 antennas suck. They are awful antennas. I mean, they work. They're just so flimsy. I would recommend getting like the Beta FPV antennas or the tracer antennas or the Ghost antennas. Those are all much better options. Yeah, don't mess with the PP antennas. Those don't have internal Wi-Fi. Those should just be phased out, to be honest with you. Range difference? Oh yes, major range difference. The ceramic antenna has good range, but it's designed for like flying a whoop. It's for I'm gonna stay close and in the general area, and it doesn't have a very good RF pattern, but it's good enough for stuffing inside of a micro like this. Like here's an EP2. jammed inside of this guy. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and it works really well for flying. I mean, I can go out to the tree line with this thing, and it's fine. This is more range than you'll ever get on a FR Sky receiver. But in a bigger quad, it's moving faster. You're gonna try pushing a little bit even more range. I would recommend going with something with a standard antenna, a standard T antenna. That way you can match polarity. It's just, you're gonna get better range out of it for sure. Is the Happy model ES24TX the best one? There's no best one. I honestly really like the Beta FPV full-size module. I think that it's very well done. The OLED screen is very good on it. It has the VTX backpack function already on it. I think it's probably a better module. The case is really nice on it. Has ergobleds. Has ergobleds on it. So I mean, there's that. Yeah, you can definitely outrun your video with an EP2. The propagation pattern of the ceramic antenna is not very good. So you may get really good range, and then all of a sudden you turn and you're gonna lose everything because it's just like RF, like bleh, like diarrhea of RF everywhere. Whereas the T antennas actually have some sort of like pattern to them, if it makes any sense. Speaking of Express LRS, has anybody seen this? This little guy? This radio has Express LRS inside of it. It has access inside of it. And it still has an external module bay. And it has a VTX backpack. 250 milliwatts. Still doing some testing on it, but definitely keep an eye out for the video on that guy. This has been one of my more ambitious projects. And it all starts with this. It's my first attempt at designing a PCB. It works perfect. The silk screen could be better, but I had to sacrifice the silk screen for the space. There's very little space in that radio to fit this thing, and this thing fits perfect. But I had to sacrifice the silk screen for it. It just did not have enough room. Oh, Discord live chat. Let's see. Let's post this sucker up here. There we go. Athix says, haven't had range issues. Even like this, I do run 250 milliwatts. Where is it? Oh, yeah, I see it. It's right down in there. That little guy right there. Yeah, I mean, some of them work really well. Some don't. I don't know if it's a like a variance in the production quality of the ceramic antenna. The ceramic antenna is also pretty fragile too. A lot of people lose them in crashes, like just pop the antenna off. There's not a lot of mechanical. There's not a lot of mechanical places where it's actually being held to the PCB. I was looking at the flat antennas that Beta FPV is making now. They get slightly less gain, but I think it might be better for an even more compact build for like a whoop. I don't know if I'd put an EP2 on like a 5-inch or anything like that, or one with a flat antenna on a 5-inch. Family Guyver, how you doing this morning? Welcome. Let's see. Pass through. I thought I had to do it that way the first time. Nope, you do not. Literally, you only need to put power and ground to it, and you can flash the receiver not even hooked up to the quad. I do it that way all the time. Over Wi-Fi. Did you replace the external antenna on the X-Lite? No, I did not. I did not. Because if I replaced the external antenna, then I would lose the original functionality of the radio. This radio functions 100% like it did out of the box. This antenna is actually part of the access board with the module on it, so I did not use that. There is a full-size antenna inside of this. It's not a PCB antenna for the Express ELRS. It's inside of here. It's right about here is where it's at. About there. So this radio now has 3 antennas in it. So it's got a Bluetooth antenna for the wireless trainer. It's got more than that. It's got Bluetooth antenna for the trainer, the internal antenna for access. It has the internal antenna for Express ELRS. It has the internal antenna on the VTX backpack. So there's honestly 4 antennas inside the sucker. I love it. This turned out way better than I thought it would. But y'all have to wait. I have to wait and see how that goes. Still doing some testing on it. I haven't had any issues with it. The only issue anybody might run into is the internal Express ELRS is scabbing its power off of the external module bay, and I don't know what would happen if you ran like a 1 watt crossfire on the back here. I don't know what that internal the MOSFET. I don't know what power, how much power that MOSFET can handle. That'd be the only downside. But it's definitely a DIY thing. So just don't be dumb. It's really what it comes down to. Don't be dumb. Now, North 49 RC, the only reason why it would do that is if it had a bad flash to start with. If you flash through Betaflight pass-through, you can, it kind of forces firmware onto it. That would be the only reason why it wouldn't work with Wi-Fi out of the box, is if it already had a bad flash on it. And that happens. Hostile Habit, how's it going? Good morning. But yeah, Morton, this is running 18650s in here. Big bastards. And I don't like it. I prefer the form factor of this radio with the 18500s. Been flying the Zorro a lot. That's what I flew all day yesterday at the race. I'm like 75% sure that's going to be my next, my new daily driver, edging out the Mambo, mostly for the size, but I'm not 100% convinced yet. I'm pretty close though. Pretty sure it is going to be. Didn't have a problem with battery life. I flew all day, didn't need a charge, but I only flew like maybe 12 packs, so take that for what it's worth. How do I know the password for Wi-Fi to connect? It is Express ELRS. It's Express ELRS. That's what it is. It's in the wiki. If you're following the instructions, which people in this hobby, you need to follow the fucking instructions once in a while. I know for some reason there's an aversion to following directions, but ExpressLRS.org is like, they have everything pretty much spelled out on how to get this stuff going. I don't know why people have a blind spot to this thing. I'm not saying you do, but I get a lot of questions from people saying they've screwed up their Express ELRS stuff. I'm like, did you follow the wiki? They're like, what are you talking about? It has everything in here on how to get going. No, Tango 2 does not like the cold, and neither does the Mambo. They have issue. The Kimballs do like to drift. Let's see. Dan636, hey man, glad to be here today. Thanks for being awesome, man. Thank you for coming out. You're being awesome for being here. 8x says, what's the highest milliwatt on the Express OS? Are you talking about in this guy here? 250 milliwatts, more than the average person will ever need. Family Guy says 75%. Yeah, 75%. I just don't have a ton of time under it. And like 10% of that is the fact that it's using, dingus arm switches rather than buttons for, it's just one of those things. The highest output I've seen for ExpressOS modules is 1 watt, which in reality is only like 600 milliwatts. So, yeah, it's like 600 milliwatts at the 1 watt setting. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Yeah, but 1 watt is the marketed max so far for Express ELRS, but it's all marketing bullshit. Sorry, it's going to be a sweary stream today. I don't know if it's because I've had too much coffee or not enough. Probably first one, then the other. But Kevin, yeah, if you can't get it connected and you need some help, hit me up over on Discord. Go to tweetfv.com. Click the Discord invite if you're not already over there. I don't know. People's names are different between Discord, YouTube, email, all that stuff. Hit me up over there and I'll walk you through it. It's probably just some silly setting that's being missed. Yeah, like I was saying, the Tango 2, that style gimbal that they're using it has a lot of creep in the cold. There's also an ELRS Discord, and the people on there are very, very helpful. Like, usually you'll end up with a dev helping you out, like, almost instantly. Anytime I ask a question, it's answered, like, in minutes, if not less. Everybody, too long didn't read. Now my shit's bricked. Yep, well, that's what happens. The Zoro is tempting, apart from the fact that I'm waiting on that ELRS to be EU compatible. Nobody gives two about that stuff. And ExpressOS does have a EU compliance mode. Right. There. Regulatory domain EU 2400. There you go. And limits you to 10 milliwatts. So the fact is, even if it's compliant, you're not going to use it. You're not going to use it. Yeah, it would be hard to decide between Zoro, ExpressOS, external crossfire, Tango 2, or external crossfire. Do you just want it for the form factor? I don't. Yeah, I got used to the buttons on the Tango 2 and the toggles. Yeah, I'm spoiled by the buttons. The buttons are what we should be using, especially if you're like hauling your I literally take my radio. I don't give two. The radio needs to be able to raw dog it in the bag. Like, I literally take the radio, throw it in the bag. Gimbal protectors, screw that stuff. I don't need it. If it can't survive being in my bag without gimbal protectors, it has absolutely no place in my inventory. That's the big reason why I stopped. One of the big reasons why I stopped flying the QX7, other than the ergonomics were garbage on it for me. The X9D was the same way. I was just busting switches all the time. The gimbals are way more resilient than you think they are. Like, people are like, "Oh, don't set it down on your gimbals." Like, come on, guys. They're ball bearings. You putting it down on its face is not going to screw it up. Like, let's be 100% honest here. Unless you drop it, which, all bets are off when you drop things. Setting it down on the gimbals or putting pressure on them is not going to hurt them. We are way too freaked out about our gimbals. Back when you had old potentiometer gimbals, yes, that was definitely a factor because you were literally putting pressure on the bearing. And back then, they didn't have quad ball. A lot of them weren't quad ball bearings. It was like one bearing on one side and the other side was on plastic running into the potentiometer. Yes, that would have screwed them up. Now everything's Hall sensors for the most part. There is no physical contact between the gimbal and the sensor. So you're not going to hurt anything. Let's call the marketing wanketeering for what it is. Or maybe wait for the AGO1 gimbal version JB mentioned. I hope they do. I can definitely see them making a 18500 radio. I know there's somebody that jammed 18650s. I think they're just getting greedy. 18500s would have been a better choice, I think. An 18500 radio with the Hall gimbals and a 1-watt transmitter. I see it happening. I don't know for a fact, but I think it would be. Yes, North 49RC. There's lots of different places to find info. My R9 with ELRS uses more battery on 25 milliwatts than the stock R9 did at 250. Did you measure that with a meter? Let's see. Shendrone Squirt. Hustle Habit says, Shendrone Squirt, when I chop the throttle, trying to lose altitude in acro mode, the drone only descends slowly, and the drone starts twitching in directions I'm not putting input into it. How do I fix this? It's definitely a tune thing. Sometimes lowering your digital idle percent can help, but really need to kind of black box log it. Ballop said hi. Hi, how you doing? Was looking, let's see, Family Guy says, was looking for many options for starting my first wing. Yeah, I wanna start flying fixed wing more, which would be to fly fixed wing. So just don't do it. I want to though. I want to. Oh, Leston, how you doing this morning? Glad you could make it out. Rick Cepeda, he's here in spirit over on the Discord. Thank you for coming out. Glad to have you. I have a bunch of fixed wing hanging up. The only one I've ever flown is really this one here. This is a Flight Test Night Radian. It's a big powered glider. I have a Zode Nano Dart over there too. I just never fly that. Mike Bergman, if you're interested in a Zode Nano Dart, let me know. I'll make a good deal on it. I've been clearing out the closet. There's a lot of stuff I've been selling, trying to just make some space. I'm kind of getting buried and stuff over here. A lot of stuff needs to go to a good home. Yeah, ducted quads are they're rough. You need a lot of times it's just learning how to fly around the bad spots. Is Radio Master selling AG01s for the TX12? No, I don't believe that. It's true. If they are, that'd be cool. But I don't think they are. No, I didn't measure. Just know that ExpressOS sags the battery way more. I don't see how ExpressOS on R9 will consume more power because it's all the same hardware. Nothing's changed other than the software. So my guess is probably your batteries are getting older, shittier, saggier. But yeah, you're right. They are cycling it more, so it's certainly a possibility. I've never done the R9 conversion. How does it work? I know that's kind of how it started off, and people were all about it, especially for like on the old R9 hardware. I never dabbled with it, so I'm always curious. I've never heard anybody complain about it. Kevin says he tried the ELRS Discord in the wiki and was getting a bit of confusion info. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, just hit me up over on Discord. I'll help walk you through it if you can't figure it out. Yeah, ducted quads, they're extremely stable, but there is a price to be paid for it. You know, there's no free lunch. It's transmitting 4 times the data. Okay, well that makes sense. Let's see. So here is. It's been a long time since I've crushed a camera like that. I centered that sucker right up, and that's on a box frame, so the arms were fine. I must have caught that sucker right dead center. Yeah, broke that thing right proper. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've broken one like that. Cracked the case in half. Disconnected, the sensor broke off the board. It just pure carnage. It's been a long time since I've broken a camera that badly, but like I have almost no protection on this one. I got a different mount printed for it. Hopefully it'll be a little more protection, or I could just stop crashing. I don't know. I know one of those things might happen, and the other one definitely is not going to. Let's see. Dan Richmond says, just firmware flashing works great. Also never fail safe stock on any of it. Yeah, everybody bags on R9 so hard, but I never had any issues with it. I think you just had to be a little bit smarter. Like you got to remember what you got to be a little bit more diligent about knowing what software is on either side. It was older technology that, TBS definitely had a better ecosystem where it would just automatically match up the firmwares between the two. They didn't do that, so it was up to you to know what firmware you wanted on it. It was definitely an inferior system compared to Crossfire. It was also a hell of a lot cheaper when it came out. Where am I at here? Yeah, that cam was shredded. Like, I've broken lenses. It's been a long time since I've actually destroyed a camera where there was nothing worth salvaging off of it. Yeah, pretty crushed. Ready-made RC, are they even still around? Jeez. So, all right, it's 11 o'clock. We're gonna be giving away one of these. This is the HDLRC Taycan. No, not Taycan. Veyron 3.5. Has an aluminum mid plate on it, which is that's weird. This thing seems like it's going to be an absolute nightmare to tune, but I'm not sure. If you saw the video on it from the last sub 250 crate from FPV Crate, I broke down the list of the things that I've received in the last year, and you can see that there's a definite steady decrease in value. Not so much quality, but definitely value. Maybe a little quality. And I'm out. I canceled my subscription, and I let FPV Crate know. I talk to those guys almost every couple weeks or every couple months. Just let them know things I found that were issues or things I like, things I don't like. And I told them hey, it's the value is not there anymore, and I'm out. And they're like, you know what? We should have been doing this a long time ago. We want you to keep doing this. We're gonna send you the crates for free. Oh, well, I'll certainly keep doing it then. Why not? They're like, don't change anything about how the way you're doing things. Be extremely honest. Let us know when there's issues. Just keep doing it. So I'm not gonna say no. So I'm gonna keep doing the crates. They're now. I'm gonna have to put the stupid little banner on there that said this is a paid promotion, because it technically is according to the terms of service of YouTube. It'll still be the same honest thoughts and opinions on the crates that you've always seen and come to expect from me, and I'm still going to give them away, at least for the time being. We'll see how things go with them, but they're they're sending them out on their dime now. So that's awesome. I do agree they probably should have been doing it a long time ago, but you know, I was doing it for mostly for you guys because I like giving away the crates because I don't know who doesn't like a giveaway. Who doesn't like free shit? And then they're also going to try running my videos, like clips of my videos, as commercials on YouTube. I'm like, I don't know anything about that. They're like, just dump your footage to this Google Drive, and we'll take care of the rest. So, all right. I've been a YouTube Premium subscriber since they started the service, so it's been, I don't know, 9-10 years since I've seen a commercial on YouTube. So I don't know what that's going to look like. Should be interesting. So expect to keep seeing those videos, for better or for worse. Steady, I said last year I had an issue with my flight control rebooting when I crashed. Best device ever. Stop crashing. Right? Exactly. You know, it's like the douchebags on YouTube. They're like, if you're fat, why? Like, you. That's why. Don't have to worry about that. No, we were about it. I think I was turning my shift down. 4-channel receivers. Blades FEV, welcome. How are you doing? I have some receivers from Beta FEV coming. They're PWM receivers for putting in a few of the wings. Athix says he could use that frame. Hopefully you signed up. Someone in JB's chat said, I break 3 motors per flight session. What should I buy next? Answer, simulator. Man, if you're breaking 3 motors per... Well, I don't know. How long's your session, though? Is it like 20 packs? You know, I mean... There's a fine line between I don't break anything and I'm careful, and then there's a fine line between I break things every once in a while because I'm pushing it. If you break stuff every pack because you're pushing hard, you need to dial it back. If you're breaking everything on each pack when you're not pushing, you need to go back to a simulator. If you're not breaking anything and you fly all the time, you're not pushing yourself and you're probably not progressing. Or you're just really good at this and you are progressing. But for the most part, like, I flew extremely cautious for a very long time because I didn't want to break anything. I did not develop or progress at all for like the first 3 years of flying FPV because I did not want to break anything. And I never took any chances or any risks. It was a lot of just like flying around very safely. Not safe as in like a personal safety, but a safe for the quad safety. You need to push it. You need to push yourself. And that's going to involve breaking shit. You need to make your peace with breaking stuff. If you don't know how to solder, this is not the hobby for you. You need to learn because you're going to break stuff. If you want to progress, you're going to have to break things. Obviously, this is all general statements. That's right. RM ready-made RC moved about a year ago. That's right. Yeah, Morton, it's nice. So honestly, right now they are my only sponsor. Is FPV Crate. They're the only people that send me things. I stopped working with Banggood about a year ago because after being on like the fifth representative, this last one just was not responsive. Did not listen or understand the things I was asking her. I don't know if they are English speaking or if they're using some sort of translating service, but it just seemed like either she wasn't listening to what I said or something was getting lost in translation. And I'm very careful not to use like idioms that just aren't going to make sense. But you know, I'd be like, hey, can I get one of this and a link for review? And then they'd send me a link for like a solar panel. I'm like, that's not what I'm getting at. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't seem pretty impressed with it. I mean, I'm judging a book by its cover. I'll be quite honest. But it's a lot of plastic. It's aluminum and carbon fiber. It looks like it's going to be a fairly easy build. I think it's kind of gonna be an upside down build. So you're gonna need to know everything. You need to know motor mapping. You're gonna need to know resource reassignment. You're gonna need to know FC orientation. Although with Betaflight 4.3, it has wizards to do all that stuff for you. You're gonna have to be very, very particular about the motors you choose because the props are gonna have to go on upside down. A lot of props, when they go upside down, they kind of go up over the bell or the hub. So if your motors aren't very specifically designed to fit the prop, they're not going to work. And that's one of the issues I brought up with these guys is the King motors that they've been giving away or been sending in their crates do not work with the props that came with this quad because the bell has a very slight lip around the edge of the bell, which touches the top of the prop or the underside of the prop, depending on how you look at it. So they're not compatible, and they didn't know that. HDRC was very, they neglected to mention that about the props that they recommend because the props that came with this crate are the ones that HDRC recommends for this quad. They neglected to mention that it's a very specific shape motor that needs to work with those props. These are things that they probably should have been asking. It's kind of like the JHEMCU F411. Why doesn't it have gummies? They're like, we assumed it would. I'm like, well, it didn't. So I think they need people like me, but I think they need to consult people like me before they make large purchases of these products. Because like once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't put them back in, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not impressed with it. I have a Cinesplorer. That's like the paragon of cinematic quads as far as I've ever flown. Like I've flown Squirts, I've flown Taycans, I've flown a bunch of the other plastic wonders, and I've flown a Cinesplorer. Built correctly, there's not much competes with it. It's in a different league. But any good build can be wrecked by bad parts. You pick out the wrong parts, the wrong FCs, the wrong motors, and it doesn't matter how good the frame is, the build's going to be shit. Athex says, I second that. I have gotten better, risking more. Yep. Like the races, I was very, very calculated, very methodical about going through the gates, not pressing it, just carry the same speed. I was flying racing like just trying to carry the same speed through the entire course rather than like, oh, it's straightaway, hit it, you know, and then have to try to figure out how to bleed off speed at the end. Now that I'm doing that, I'm actually progressing more, but I'm also breaking more stuff, which is fine. Bork says, angle mode. Whoops, outside even. You need to stop doing that. Yep. Switch to acro, you're going to crash a lot. I still tend to race indoor whoops in angle mode, but I find myself going back and forth between acro because there is a point where you are held back because you can't, you know, dip the nose and jam the throttle. I mean, you could always set up a steeper angle limit in Betaflight, so I don't know. Family Guy says, but worried to break things, don't want to spend the money, but I know no pain, no gain. Yeah, exactly. That's how I was for the first couple years of this hobby. Is I didn't want to spend the money, I didn't want to break anything, and I did not progress very much. I mean, I was very competent doing. I knew where my limit was, and I could fly very well within my limit. But my limit was here. Now I risk things, but my limit is up here. And now I'm trying to go above that. I start breaking stuff, but the consequences of breaking shit up here is much higher. Like when you break stuff up here, you break stuff. Like not just like chipping arms, you're like destroying quads. But I think we all get desensitized to watching FPV footage online because like this is like the sweetest rip ever. But you don't notice it. You don't know that they're on their 5th quad and they've burned up 2 batteries and it's like 20 packs later. Like you don't see the carnage leading up to the end result. I like watch any of my flight videos. There's probably a crash in every single one of them. Like the one I showed at the top of the video. I crashed so hard I lost the prop and the prop nut. And I think I cracked the frame on it. Yeah, I did crack the frame when I did that. Yeah. Well, not cracked, broke the frame with these. Sorry, headphone users. Yeah, that's a That was from that crash. Sorry. Oh boy, I'm getting behind. North 49 C, yeah, grade breaking skill progression. Death FPV. Nice. Nice name. Welcome. New here. At least I think you are. Blades of Sea says, "Hey man, I want to say thanks again for the Orca review. I know I am now using them, love them, and yes, I put in the Connect module. Now I have the Fusion. Following working with the Rush tank, awesome. I need to remove that song. I don't like it. I asked Rugi like 2 years ago if the language barrier made working with Banggood difficult. He says, no, it's not like that, but you just confirmed my suspicion. So it changed. Like, I've had many Banggood reps that were awesome. Whatever you wanted, they understood it, and they talked, they worked really well with you. And then you get some that just, they cycle their reps out almost like every 6 months, like almost like that's an introductory position, and they're constantly cycling new people out. And then you get one that just doesn't communicate well, and I don't know if it's a language barrier or if they're just incompetent. I would like to think it's a language barrier because that's not really on them. I guess it's part of their job. I don't know. But I've had some that were really good and then some that were really bad. And this last one was so bad that I'm just like, you know what? I'm out. I can't keep working with you guys. I should probably hit them up. And then that's the other thing is they're like, why no you sales? Like, I don't know, because every US retailer carries the same shit you do for the same price, but they don't have to wait for it to be shipped. Now I understand that somebody out in the EU isn't going to be buying from Race Day Quads. They're going to be buying from Banggood or somewhere local. But there was a dramatic drop in sales, and it's because the U.S. retailers figured it out and were like, "Oh, we need to work with these manufacturers to get this stuff when everybody else gets them." Because let's face it, if I'm selling a Mobula 6 and you can have it in 3 days through USPS or 30 days through Banggood for maybe even like $2 less, which one are you going to pick? Right? And then you get points too. Like, I mean, come on. And they just don't understand that. Freeloader says, I think the mid plate is a graphite composition. Let's find out. Let's clear some space here. I got junk everywhere. Let's find out. Let's find out what the mid plate is. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is a graphite composition. It's certainly coming out black. And I don't think it's carbon fiber. Might be. It doesn't feel like it because it's got, I don't know. Maybe it is carbon fiber. Oh, no. Yeah, it's not aluminum. Sorry. My bad. It certainly feels like it. Like when you touch it, it has like a different temperature to it. Like it's cold, like aluminum. Oh crap, chat. Where we go? Yeah, Freelojo. I think you're right. I think it is some sort of like almost like what the Holybro quads came with, like that composition type stuff. But yeah. Let's see, going through the chat. Ramdonko, should I bother trying to update the Skyzone 04X? They seem fine. Nah, they're fine. Don't mess with them. The only thing you can do is, I mean, look at the build logs. If there's something in the change log that is something you've noticed, then possibly, but I wouldn't. Death FE says, depressed I couldn't go out and make a video for myself because of the rain. Yeah. Sorry, man. Oh yeah, Dan Richmond, that's a good point. There's firmware for the actual goggles, there's firmware for the DVR, and there's firmware for the receiver module. I would definitely update the receiver module if that's what the firmware update is. The rest for the goggles, I don't know. And the 4X, those have an external rapid mix module, right? Right? Am I right? I think I'm right. Yeah. I would definitely update the module if that's what the firmware update is. Sometimes they improve the DVR, but you just got to see what the improvement is for. Death FUV says, yeah, it's the first live stream of yours I've caught so far. Well, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. It sounded like the contest wheel was spinning. Nice. Just going through the chat, guys. Going through the chat. Anything says when Bob Noxious met Bot Grinder, I told him that it wasn't the greatest pilot. I wanted to fly. He told, we're all bad pilots. You're just the best. A study asked, do you or do you know someone that can cut or replace arms? Having trouble finding. Depends on what it is. I mean, I can cut carbon fiber. I don't do it very often, and I don't have a ton of time. Depending on what it is, I might be able to help you out. Otherwise, there's a lot of different CNC fab shops out there. You can go to FPV Exchange over here, and you can look for CNC services. And these fine folks here can probably hook you up with whatever you're looking for. But depending on what it is, let me know. I can let me know, and I'll see if I can do something. I don't have a ton of carbon on hand over time. Old RC buggy ran graphite arms. Interesting. Explain why you would update the module. So some of the modules have, so if they have the sync pulse reconstruction, they may make adjustments to the algorithm for how they sync up the pulses. So like rapid fire was very prone to losing the sync pulses, and you would see your image be like this, and then it would just start rolling like this, and then it would lock in again. And through firmware updates, they've been able to kind of tune the amount of the tune about how compatible it was with other cameras that weren't exactly sending perfectly timed sync pulses, because there was a lot of cameras back then that were just like, we make them transmit, but they've never had to have accurate sync pulsing for the frames. Now that these magic mixing unicorn magic modules come out, they need very, very specific timing, and the cameras weren't meeting that. So now they've had to tune the window of what the module will be looking at, or maybe just be UI interface, UI changes. You never know. It could be a lot of different things. Mike Bergman, I'm right there with you. I don't know if it's laziness, depression, honestly, but yeah, I waste a lot of perfectly good flying days too much. Yep. There's plenty of days where I just look out the window and it's beautiful out, and I'm just like, fuck life. And it's happened a lot for me now that the family lives up in Chicago. But moving on from that, let's see. Back in the day, I used to try two 1800 Team Lucy buggies. Ugh, wow, that's expensive. Need more coffee. I need more coffee. I need way more coffee. Image stitching, yeah. And then as far as that goes, the sync pulse reconstruction, in my opinion, and I've used all three of the major modules, the rapid mix, the rapid fire, and the fusion. If you're gonna go out and buy one, my recommendation is the fusion. It is a better module. I have never except for one. Well, I've once had the screen roll on me, and it was a really bad situation, and I was surprised I even had video. The crossfires or the rapid fires do it all the time. I've had 3 different modules. They all do it. Like, oh, was it release version this? Re-release? It doesn't matter. They all do it. And I am so sick of rapid fire doing it. I stopped using it. The Fusion has better hardware inside of it. Not so much the receiver, but like the back end of it has a better UI. It has an ESP32 built into it, which works. Which makes it compatible without adding any extra hardware to it for the Express ELRS backpack function. That's where the follow VTX channel function. It's better hardware, in my opinion, and it's usually cheaper too. So if you're looking to get one, I recommend the Fusion. Just getting a batch of mead going. I've known a few guys that have done their own beer, and they're always like, "Oh, this is the best beer I've ever had," and it feels like I'm eating the side of a pine tree. I'm like, "This tastes like shit." But every once in a while, I have friends that like have been doing it for a very long time, and they make some pretty damn good stuff. Athix says, "Rely on rapid fire." Yeah, I don't rely on rapid fire. It's let me down way too many times. Way too many times. The Fusion has been rock solid since day one. Although, no, wait, I gotta take that back because the Fusion did come with a subpar RF module right in the very beginning, and then they released like a V2. It was just the receiver part of the module. That made it 100%, that made it the better module. But you'd be hard-pressed to find a V1 hardware receiver in stores if you're going to buy one. So they're all going to have the better hardware on them now. Tommy says, I just got the iFlight XL8 in the air. Sounds like a mini X-Class. Old shitty Racer Star 2212 motors, but with a 5S battery. Started. Yeah, that would, yeah, bump that sucker up to 6S. Take 2 4S packs and run them in series, and make it 6S. What kind of KV you running on the 2212s? I think a lot of times the people that I know that have had really bad batches, I think it might just come down to cleanliness when they're, you know, cleaning everything. 'Cause it always has like a skunky, gross flavor to it, and also tastes like I'm eating a pine tree. I don't like IPAs either, and that seems to be what everybody makes. There's very few IPAs I like, and it's usually I get like 3/4 through it, and it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want drinking a beer to be an event. Oh, yep, sorry, my math is bad. Okay, run on 8S. 980 kV, yeah, run. If you're, well, then do 6S. Yeah, try 6S if your ESC's can handle it. I like wheat beer too, but I think I'm slightly allergic to it. I have weird stuff that happens whenever I drink like wheaty-ish type beers. But as bad as it sounds, my preferred go-to beer is either PBR or Yuengling. Yuengling mostly because I grew up and lived in Michigan for so damn long, and you can't get Yuengling in Michigan. So anytime anybody went to Ohio, it was like your unspoken duty to bootleg like cases of that shit across the border, you know? Yes, Bob Noxious, I'm an idiot. I can't add. 2 4S packs would be 8S. I'm an idiot. I meant 2 3S. Actually, I didn't mean that. I just don't math well. There's a few IPAs I do like, but like I said, like by the time I'm 3/4 of the way through, I'm just like, I want this to be over with. I'm not gonna dump it out. I'm too cheap for that. You know, Tommy, it would probably be fine if the flight controller and ESC are rated at 6S. It would probably actually fly better because you might have more authority over those motors on 6S. Rogue Brewing Brutal. I think I've had that. It's been a long time. I typically people get me IPAs for like whenever I take them out for Flight of Valves, they'll buy a case of beer or something like that. And you know, they usually ask what I like. I'm like PBR, and I'm like, really? Yeah, I do. I don't know. I used to frequent the Bell's Brewery quite often. I didn't live too far from there at one point. I think they was like North Peak. Yeah. All right, so it's 11:30. If you have not gotten in on the giveaway for the January FPV crate, sub 250 crate, make sure you find that link in the video or join my Discord, or my my Patreon, and I post a link up in there. $2 a month gets you access to all the Discordy type Patreon-y goodies that you get. Let's spin that sucker here in a couple minutes. Going through the always want to try head tracking. So that was one of the interesting things with this radio is it has a gyro built into it, so you could technically fly by doing this. It has a 3-axis accelerometer in there and all that stuff, so you can. I've seen one video where a guy was flying like this. I never tried it. I think it'd be kind of neat though. Yeah, I've kind of stopped drinking beer. I'm making me fatter, but I should quit. You know, I don't drink to excess, so it's not quitting for that. It's just quitting for like it's just junk calories. More upshot, yeah. A good IPA is great. A mediocre IPA is crap. Like, I think people pride themselves on how terrible their IPA is and how they could pound it down and not like throw up. I don't know. I don't get it. Daniel Hoffman, how do I get in? You can go back to my FPV crate, sub 250 crate review from last week, and the link is actually in the video, not in the description. You have to watch the video, and it's posted up in the background. It's hard to see. You got to watch. You got to pay attention. Or you join my my Patreon, and the link's in there. If you want to join my Patreon, there you go. $2 a month, get you in. I didn't get the email as a Patreon. You probably stopped receiving emails because you told it don't do that anymore. I can't help you there. But it's on there. Should be. Double check. Should be. Home. Let's see. God, Patreon's such a garbage interface. I hate Patreon. I've heard that there's going to be a Discord premium where it's basically going to be Patreon, but for Discord. As soon as that happens for the masses, I am done with Patreon. I hate Patreon. Let's see. It is. Yep, it's there. I think it's there. Yeah, it's there. I do like ciders, yeah. Ciders are pretty good. There's one bar back up in Traverse City that had a black bean vanilla Madagascar cider that like it's like 2 per person per visit because they were like, you're gonna get wrecked on this thing. And it's so good.
Very nice.
Watch that. Morton, did you finally find the link? I may have made it a little too hard because up until I released the link on Patreon, it was like 8. I may have made it a little too hard. I've had Hop Devil. That was really good. I like that. For some reason, I liked it, and then it was like someone flipped a switch. And I'm like, oh wait, no. Yeah, I think a lot of people shut off their email preferences from Patreon so they don't get when I post the links, and which sucks for the $2 tier guys, because that's how you will know when the monthly giveaway goes live for like this week. This month is going to be the Baby Nano. Scott, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Morton Upshot agreed. The Patreon interface is as bad as IPA. The only reason I use Patreon is it's integrated with Discord, and that's the only reason why I use it. If Discord did the Discord premium thing, like there's a bunch of Discord people that are using it, and it's kind of like in a beta phase. As soon as that's out to the masses, I'm out from Patreon. I can't stand Patreon. Oops, you forgot to post the link in the email in the mail. No, it's not. The Patreon sends out an email saying that something happened. You have to click on the post. You have to click on the link in the email to go to the post, and the link is in the post. It's literally the frickin' picture. Another reason why I don't like the way Patreon works. This button right here, that is the link right there. The picture. It's dumb. I know. I don't like it. Push the wrong button. Oh, you know what? I now I'm reading your email or your message. Oops, you forgot to post the link. Yeah. I guess it's a little confusing. It's not on Discord. I don't put it on Discord because Discord, there's a lot of people on Discord that aren't patrons. It's on Patreon, not Discord. I should stop doing giveaways. This is annoying. You know what? Screw it. Let's just do this. Here's the link. Here's the link. You guys can have the freaking link for 3 minutes, and I'm shutting it down. At 11:40, I'm not irritated. I'm just making it sound that way. 11:40, I'm shutting that link down. So there you go. Anybody can get in on it. Forgot to check out the old doggo cam. There we go. They are doing what they do best. Oh, they hear the jar. Let's see. Yeah. Dial up commands. Did that not work this time? I thought it would. I don't know. You caved. I did. Great dogs? I don't know about great dogs. They're just dogs. They're alright. What are those hexes next to the dog cam? Those? That's a future project. Not gonna get into that. If you were a patron member, you would know what they're for, because I've been posting them on my patron only section on Discord. Shut it down. Oh yeah, Mike Berger. Yeah, I know Patreon's not about the giveaways, but it's just I want to give things away, but I really kind of want to give it away to the people who you'd have to see what my end of it looks like with all the just greasy, shitty requests like I get from people. Like I get an email about once a week. iQuad, give me quad, send me quad, or send me quad from Amazon. Send it now, or I not subscribe to you. Like that's the kind of shit I get all the time. All right, closing it down. If you didn't get in, I'm sorry. Dial up, yeah, future project. Future project as soon as stuff makes it here from China. Yeah, like there's so many people. Like there's even legit people that I get. They're like, hey man, I'm hitting hard times. I can you send me a quad? I'm like, well, if you're that budget strapped, then you can't possibly survive in this hobby. So sorry. And if I give you one, then like where does it stop? And it's, you know, nobody sends this stuff to me for free. Like everything on this channel, I give away. I mean, it comes out of my pocket. All right, we got the wheel populated here. China, yeah. Send me quad. You, Scott, you would be disgusted if you saw what my inbox looks like on like a weekly basis. And you know, 90% of the people who are really pushy and wanting me to send them a free quad, they're all in India. And I'm not saying anything about India or the people or anything like that, but there was one guy that I kind of knew from this area that moved to India, and the issue that they run into is like when quads and things like that come through customs, they all get seized or sold, or like nothing makes it. Like there's one guy I was helping out. I was actually sending him, he was paying for quads, and I would get them and break them down into different packages and send like a motor and a flight controller, because that would make it. I'd send the frame and that would make it. But if a full pre-built quad made it into customs, it would get seized and they're out. It sucks, and I'm sorry that that's the way it is, but there comes a certain point where I'm like, I just can't help you, you know? Oh yeah, that was the other one. Send me the money so I could buy the quad. Yeah. My God, dial up! I cannot freaking wait. I like every day I'm looking at my email like, where is that? I know it's 25th. 25th is when that's supposed to happen. I am absolutely stoked. Can't wait. Might be also why I've been selling off a lot of stuff that I've had sitting around that I don't need anymore. Maybe. Yeah. No, they usually just, Bob Noxious, no, they usually just threaten, and when I say, I'm sorry, I wish I could help you, I wish I could help out everybody, but I can't do it because I'd have to do it for everybody, and I can't. Then they're just like, oh, I thought you were a good YouTuber, I guess not. I'm not going to subscribe to you. Like, it's like, fuck you. Yeah, India is rough, and I'm not disparaging the people, but it's like, their import rules are, that's tough. Like, most people that I know that live in that area, like, they have family members that come and visit, and they're basically just bootlegging that stuff into the country because they can't get it through customs. I don't know. I don't know why they get seized. It has to do with their customs laws. Morton, yeah, exactly. They have to bribe for customs. Yeah, it is not a cheap hobby. I mean, if you look at like I look at my analytics, the majority of my viewers are like 35 to 45 because that's typically in life. That's when you have more disposable income. People under that typically are cash strapped because they're just getting into the workforce or they're going to college, and then after that, you probably just don't have time, or you're just out of not interested in this hobby. Well, I'll let you know how it is. Dial up. Bob Noxious, thank you. Yeah, exactly. E-Doc. Yeah, I try to be really nice to. I've had 2 people since I started doing this that I had to be just a dick to, and it was, they're looking for help. I'm giving them all sorts of help over email. Just like I'm spending a lot of time like trying to walk people through these issues. And then, like, it's like, oh, I arm the motors and they just run to the moon. I'm like, well, you don't have props on, so put props on and try it. And then they're like, it jumped up and tried to hit me. Don't you ever do this to me ever again. How dare you suggest something so dangerous? I'm like, you know what? You can take your free help, you can shove it up your ass and go fuck off. I don't think they expected that reaction, but I was just done. Like, and this is probably 3 hours total of back and forth, working through the email to help this person out. I'm just like, you know what? Not worth it. And I was on vacation too. The wife was getting pissed at me because I was spending time emailing this guy. I was like, I'm out. So 3-inch stuff should be more affordable than 5-inch eventually. No, because it's all the same stuff. It should be all the same price because 5-inch is going to run the same flight controller, same ESCs, same cameras, same VTXs, same antennas. The only thing that might be different is the motors, but the motors seem to be pretty much the same price across the board until you start getting into like weird specialty size, and then the frames. But the frames, a good frame, $50. A decent 5-inch frame, $50. Batteries is where it may be cheaper. Money is why I fly whoops in angle mode. Oh, there you go. I'm 54 years old. I had a birthday Monday too. I am now 40. Monday was my birthday. I forgot about it. I don't know dial-up. I don't know how to know what queue I'm in. Thanks for reminding me. I was subscribed. Yeah, I turned 40 on Monday. Loving the belated beeps today. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Sorry, guys. Yep, same thing. I'm like, you need to make sure that the motors are spinning this way, the props are on the proper direction, and your quad is aligned properly, and your receiver is actually moving the right sticks. And they're like, yep, it's doing all those things. I'm like, okay, arm it. And it goes, bap! And then 8 emails later, they're like, oh, yeah, I had the props on wrong. It's like, but you told me 4 times that they're on the proper direction. And I've learned that either pictures or it didn't happen. Like, if you ask for help, I'm usually like, send me a picture of your OpenTX version. Send me a picture of your bootloader version. Send me a picture of this. Because I'll get people like, oh, yeah, it's on the latest OpenTX. And then 2 hours later, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm on OpenTX 2.3.2. Like, what the fuck? Why? Such a time suck. Sorry. I'm just, I get a little. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Free load will be 40 in August. Warren says 40, all downhill from here. I don't know. Keith Jones, thanks. Most of the people I work with are in their early 20s, and when they found out I was 40, they're like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, well, suck it. Yeah. This Mike Bergman, this hobby isn't for everyone. Just like going to space isn't for everyone, and driving isn't either. Nice. Rare form today, yeah. Yeah, I'm not. Birthdays aren't a special occasion to me. It's like, congratulations, you did the same thing that everybody else did. You just managed to make it a whole loop around the sun. Yeah. Nah, I've never been big on birthdays. So something I like to say is you should celebrate your achievement day, not your birthday. That's not an achievement. Your achievement day, like, graduating from college, joining the military. That's an achievement day. Things like that. Another year's wider. All right, guys. It is 11:50. Let's head over to the Wheel of Destiny. And you know what? I am going to pick the time this time. And it shall be... Why not? Let's do it 40. I get to pick it today, not you guys. And as stated, as always, you're responsible for shipping. And if you don't want it, that's fine. To do much for birthdays or holidays. I do the holidays just because my 8-year-old daughter, she's young, so we do that. But birthdays, I celebrate her birthday. The wife's, I don't really care about. We've never exchanged gifts really for birthdays. Maybe like the first year we were dating, that was about it. But birthdays are just another day in our book. Let's see. Gonna watch the Super Bowl. When is that? Is that next week? No is the answer either way. But Eastern Europe doesn't do birthdays. It's very selfish. Oh. Interesting. Didn't know they do that. They do name days. What does that mean? What is ASL? ASL, isn't that like Lou Gehrig's disease, something like that? I don't know. Some years surviving is just an achievement. Some years not killing somebody is an achievement. We'll put it that way. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks. Oh, it's today. Yeah, not. I don't care. I'd rather go out and fly. I've never been a fan of football. Growing up as a Lions fan, how could you give a shit? You know. The only sport I follow, even the slightest, is hockey. Been a Wings fan forever, but yeah. American Sign Language. There you go. ASL is the disease. Yeah. Look, Mom, my name's on TV. All right, guys, here we go. Let's spin this wheel. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Spin it, the thing. Did anybody see the bot screamer? The little sound box he put on his quad that screams when it goes upside down? That is hilarious. One of his best videos yet. Where he did nothing but fly a quad. But he knows people. I thought it was a really creative idea. It'd be nice to get that package down to something smaller. Yeah, Morton, I guess it would be. Oh, is it going to be William McEwen? Or Jim Plested? Jim Plested. Congratulations. I haven't seen your name before, but congratulations. You are the winner of Big Box Poopy. Nah, just kidding. The Sub 250 Crate for the month of January. Congratulations. Hit me up, tweetfb@gmail.com, or over on Patreon, or over on Discord, or eventually I'll send you an email. If I don't hear back from you in a couple days, screw you. I'll move on to somebody else. Is that you, Morton? I have no idea. We'll see. Congratulations. You have won the box. And thank you, FPV Crate, for sponsoring me from this point forward until they decide not to. And if you guys missed that, they will be supplying me with these crates. I'm just covering shipping. I feel like that's only fair. So, yeah. Hate the way... Yeah, the wheel. The wheel will death click at the end. But I'm probably not going to build this quad. So if anybody's interested in the other one, let me know. I'll sell it to you. What if someone used my name? That'd be interesting. I mean, so the reason I do it through the Google Forms is every person putting in the Google form has an email attached to it. So what I'll do is I'll go back, I'll find Jim Plested, and I can see what he registered at his email as. Now, there's a lot of people that use fake accounts and they just have like 5 or 6 email accounts and they don't pay attention to any of them, I send the email to whatever account won. And if you don't reply in a couple days, then I just move on. So that's why I use the Google Forms, because there's an email attached to the name. It used to be back in the day when I was doing this, I could click on your name in the YouTube chat and send you a DM through the YouTube chat, and that was how I used to do it. That worked really well. It was an awesome feature. YouTube took it away. So then before I started doing the Google Forms, I would have to be like, hey, you won, so please email me. So then they'd email me and be like, all right, well, I don't know that is you. You're just somebody who's emailing me saying you're you. So go back to that video and post a comment that says this exact string of words, and then I would see that someone with the same name would post that phrase, and I'd be like, okay, so it is you, and not just somebody trying to scam out a free box. I learned that stuff the hard way. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's a long and about reason for why I do it the way I do, and this works really well. Yeah, so, you know, I in the background, I've been talking to them, and they're like, it is, obviously they're dealing with the shortage and the increasing price of everything, and they're not saying it's really hard for them to get large quantities of a product and still try to meet the price point for the box without raising the price of the box. I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's a point where you're going to lose subscribers unless you can provide, and if you can't provide for the price, then maybe the price needs to change. And I don't know what their numbers are, how many they sell or anything like that. I'm not going to ask. It's not my business. But the other end of it is I think they need to change the name of it. They need to change the name from Sub 250, because in the beginning, it was everything you need to build a Sub 250 quad minus a battery. Everything you need. They did that for one build cycle, then they stopped including video gear because some people were on digital, some people were on analog, so let's not include digital gear or video gear. So that's no cameras, no VTXs, no antennas. Once you do that, now your formula for building a 250-gram, sub 250-gram quad is out the window, because now it's up to the user to put the right crap in it to get to that point, which if they're going DJI, they're probably not going to. Now they're including things like this in a sub 250 crate when this thing clocks in at like I'll weigh it right now. 116 grams. 160 grams. How on earth are you going to make this sub 250? So I honestly think the name should be changed to like the FPV Crate Lite. I don't know what you guys think. But I would say it should be FPV Crate Lite. They have FPV Crate Threaded, which is their shirts. They have FPV Crate, which is shirts, box of stuff. I heard last month's 5-inch box or full-size box was pretty good. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think they should rename it, or I don't know. Yeah, there is a breaking point where they have to change it. Like, they've already upped the price once because the shipping rates keep going up. Most of the people I know that were getting this outside of the U.S. couldn't stomach it anymore, and they had to move on. And I get it. All right, I don't think JB's streaming today. I think he's still off. I probably will not be doing a live stream next week, and possibly not on the 27th either. I'll be out of town. I might be back on the 27th. I'm not sure. For the patrons that are on the monthly giveaway, I will do that monthly giveaway on the 6th. That way I know that I'm here. All the $2 folks, I'll make that link available for you early, just because of the timing of everything. So yeah. So I probably won't be streaming for the next 2 weeks. I'll try to stream on the 27th, or maybe I'll just poke in and say hi on the 20th. I don't know. I'll be driving, so we'll see. They should have a digital analog option. They should, but they're not going to. DJI prices are set. They're not going to be able to send out a a Vista for anything less than what you can buy it for. But I think, like what you're saying, Kearns, is they should have a iFly digital, like kind of like how they have when you sign up. They have like iFly 6S, iFly 4S, size your shirt. They should have a iFly digital, iFly analog. So if you fly digital, they maybe send you something different in that crate. Maybe they don't send you a VTX or a camera. Maybe they send a set of screwdrivers or something. You know, something else to offset the cost. So you keep the price of the box the same, except for instead of getting a VTX or a camera or an antenna, you may get a left-hand polarized antenna with a UFL on it because you're digital, right? Or maybe like I don't know, something. But then again, I don't make these decisions. All I can do is make suggestions. Threaded is a weird name to me. Yes, it is. I have my FPV Lux bag, which I haven't opened yet. I forgot about it. I kind of put it in the corner and forgot about it. I believe this is the JB bag. I don't really pay attention to social media, so I don't know what I don't know what it looks like, but I've also suspended this service. I'm just trying to save some money. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. Oh, let's see. PM in Discord. Okay, I'll and you're gonna have to fight Freelojo for it. Ciati's taking the spot. That's right. Everybody go check out Ciati FPV. Ciati, if you're in the room, post up the link to you're not here. Or if somebody has a link to Ciati's live stream, go ahead and post it up in here. But Morton, yes, no JB today. Oh, yes, that's right. The Flying Axis 5-inch Manta frame. That looked like a really cool frame. Double Ciati for double the fun. Mike Bergman, thank you for coming out. Oh, geez, it's noon already. All right, guys. Let's see. We still got some questions here. Death FPV, do you think the upcoming HE0 brand goggles will take analog modules? Yes, they said it will. They have a whole spec sheet of what they're going to build it to be like, and if they meet that spec sheet and are in a goggle format like Fat Sharks, they will be the goggle to beat. I'm super excited for those. I will definitely be getting a set. They may even replace my Orcas. If they don't fit well, they won't. That's really what it comes down to. If you put a set of goggles on and they don't fit well and they're uncomfortable, probably not going to get any better. I do like the shirts that come in the threaded box. Just know that the brand and the quality of that shirt is the exact same brand and quality that come in the FPV Lux. It's the exact same shirt. Probably the same company, honestly. Bob Noxious, see you later. Have fun. Go rip. Try not to break anything. But if you break something, you better have done something new. There you go. Thread, it makes you think of server resources. Nerd. It would be better to diversify it, but I don't know. I don't know what kind. I mean, so another little dirty thing is I buy 2 boxes from them. Nobody buys 2 boxes. I'd say over half the time I get the crate, it shows up and there's only one. Like the people boxing and shipping are just on autopilot. 1 box, label, 1 box, label, 1 box, label. Mine comes up, they go 1 box, label, and they send it. And I'm like, hey, you forgot the second one again, and they gotta go. They gotta send it again. It's not their fault. It just is what it is. I'm not upset about it. They always get it to me at no charge. It's just a little bit later, but I get the one for the review and I give it away. Then eventually get the other one. So it's not a big deal to me. But I think having multiple different things in the crate might be a bit above their bandwidth, possibly. I'm not sure. Free Range Chicken, how you doing? Goodbye. See you later. Marathon FPV equals Ciati, or we'll get nothing done. Love me some Ciati. Awesome individual. If you guys aren't subbed, I would definitely do it. And in his words, I'll fucking kill you if you don't. I won't do that, but he tends to threaten people a lot. 4-hour set. Gross. All right, guys. Just pick up HD0. I'm gonna pick up Hero 8 for 150. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Need some Xanax for Seattle stream. It's snowing out. Indoor rip. Mob 7. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay positive. FreeFB.com if you want to do any of the supporty type stuff. And see you later.